Hello, welcome to the fourth experiment of CY101 lab. The name of the experiment is determination of acid value of a given sample. So first we'll try to understand the importance of this experiment, that is why we are carrying out the experiment in this CY101 this course. So when we are going to determine the acid value, first we have taken one vegetable oil here. So now the question is that what is the vegetable oil containing? So it is a triglyceride and it oxidizes to form fatty acids. So this oxidation is possible just by aerial oxidation. Therefore, new oil sample which is containing less amount of acids, fatty acids, whereas old samples contain more amount of fatty acids. So therefore, we can utilize this technique, this experiment to understand the quality of the oil. So for this purpose, we'll use a very simple technique, acid-base titration method, and we'll try to find out that what is the acid value. So acid value is defined as the milligram of potassium hydroxide is required to neutralize 1 gram of oil sample. So I am repeating it again. Acid value is defined as the milligram of potassium hydroxide is required to neutralize 1 gram of oil, that means it is actually fatty acid. Okay, so the next slide will see that this what is the triglyceride here. It is containing two parts, one is the glycerol and another part is fatty acid. So this is basically a star. So the titration we are going to carry out here, that RCO2, which that is the fatty acid present there, and that is reacting with potassium hydroxide to form RCO2K and water. So this is titration of weak acid, the fatty acid present in the oil, and strong base, that is potassium hydroxide. And here we are using one indicator, that is phenolphthalein. So there are two parts of this experiment. First part will determine the normality of the potassium hydroxide solution by using oxalic acid solution. So now we are going to conduct the experiment. First we will standardize potassium hydroxide solution. So as you can remember that we discussed already, so we have to carry out two different type of titration here. The first one, that we will try to standardize potassium hydroxide solution with oxalic acid, and next we will carry out the experiment to find out the acid value of oil. So for that you can see that we have taken several chemicals here. So first one is the oxalic acid, which is exactly N/10 solution. Potassium hydroxide solution, which is approximately N/10, but we will find out the exact concentration after the titration. So these are the main two things. Then we have this indicator phenolphthalein, which we will use for this one acid-base titration here. And you can see that here we have oil. So that is the oil where which one we are going to use for the acid value determination. So here we have taken mustard oil, and you will see that what is the value it is coming. And for the dissolving the oil, we have methanol here. And rest of the thing that you know, this is conical flask. So here we are going to do the titration. This is measuring flask, and we have pipette here, and then anyway we have burette. So these two main things, when we are going to titrate, so we need one burette, which is basically a graduated like a tube type of thing. So where from we can see that what is the volume consumed during the titration. So first thing, when we are going to titrate, you can see that here in the burette we have taken exactly the reading, it is 0. So from there, whatever the solution will be consumed, so that is we'll find out from there. So we have first we should mention here that in this burette we have taken potassium hydroxide solution, and this potassium hydroxide solution we are going to titrate first this oxalic acid, and then from there N1V1 equal to N2V2, from there we are going to find out the concentration of potassium hydroxide solution, this one. So first we will pipette out potassium hydroxide solution, exactly 10 ml, that's why we need pipette, and then after that we will carry out the titration procedure. Okay? So we have pipetted out 10 ml oxalic acid solution n by 10, but when you are using pipette you have to be a little bit careful that you can see that in this pipette. So here is a mark. This is exactly showing that it is 10 ml here. So up to this we will take it, and when you are pipetting out you have to be very careful that potassium hydroxide, which is not so good for our health, it should not come in our mouth. So that is the first precaution you should take it. Second thing, that when you are pipetting out, so what you should do, that it should not touch the bottom of the conical flask. So it should free flow all the solution from here to there. Then after, when you see that there is no solution inside the pipette, so you just touch the bottom of this conical flask just once, and that's enough. That is exactly 10 ml solution we are taking here. So after that, we add here 4 drops of phenolphthalein. 3, 4, exactly 4 drops. We will not add more amount of indicator here because that can hamper the overall reading, that is the end point of this reaction. So exactly 4 drops will add it here, and we'll see that whatever the theory behind the indicator and then what is the indicator required for the acid-base titration, all these things we'll teach you in our theoretical classes. But now let's see that how we are carrying out the experiment. Okay, so this is exactly n by 10 solution of oxalic acid, and here we have potassium hydroxide solution. So here you can see that the solution is totally colorless. So potassium hydroxide, will add it from here, and let's see what is happening. So when you are going to do the experiment using a burette, you should be very careful that the burette should be in proper height so that you can handle it properly. That is the first thing. And you should always hold your burette, this knob, with your left hand like this, with these 3 fingers. Okay? So these 3 fingers is really important, and then you can perfectly control the drops from the burette. If you use your right hand side, you cannot start it nicely. That is the first problem with your left hand, because if you are a right hand person, and at the same time you cannot control your burette with your right hand. So let's see that how we are conducting here. So we can add little bit of potassium hydroxide little bit fast, and after that we have to slow down the addition. So we'll add it drop by drop, and we have to be very careful here that if we add it very fast, and if we add very slow, so these 2 points can give 2 different results. So we should follow a standard addition rate, and we can see that how we can get the end point. So we are carrying out here one more thing, that you have to be careful that there is a difference between end point and equivalent point. Those things also again we are going to discuss in our theory classes. But here let's see, we'll concentrate the color change. So you can see that already some color is coming here. So there is a more or less we are reaching towards the end point. So that's why we'll slow down the addition procedure, and we'll see that what is happening. Yeah, so it's almost, we are going to end point. Yeah, we'll stop it here. Let's see, let it dissolve. Okay, again it is consuming. One more drop. Okay, again it is consumed. Yes, we are very close to the end point. Most probably this is going to persist. No. So here, yes, so 1 drop was enough to see the color, and you can see that the color is persisting here for more than 15 seconds. So that you have to be remembered here, that color should not fade away immediately, then that is not the end point. So here you can see that it is getting faded away. So we'll record first that what is the value here. So you can see that value here exactly 12.8 12.5. So 12.5 ml is already consumed, but color is not persisting. So we'll add 1 drop more, and we'll see that what is the yes, now it is stable color. So the reading is exactly 12.5 ml. So we'll record down the value 12.5 ml in this in our notebook, and that is the volume consumed during the titration of N/10 oxalic acid with potassium hydroxide solution, and this is a basically acid-base titration using one indicator. The indicator is phenolphthalein. Okay. So we are going to carry out the experiment, that is the titration of oxalic acid with potassium hydroxide once more. And this is not only once more, until unless we are getting the same value, we'll carry out this. So if it is required third time, fourth times, so we'll do it here and we'll try to get two same value. Okay. So let's start it. Let's see that how it is working. So already we have taken oxalic acid solution here. Now we are adding 1, 2, 3, 4 drops already added there, and mix it properly, and let's start the titration here. So we are already starting from, we did not fill it again, so it is starting from 12.5, and let's see how the color change is going. Okay, so we are slowly adding, and now we know that what is the end point, so that's why we have added a little bit fast. Now we'll add very slowly to find out that exactly what is the end point. Okay, again it is consumed. It's again gone. Yeah, so you're almost very close. You can see that there is a change of the color almost. So now we have to be very slowly add it and very carefully. So we'll start at drop by drop addition. Yes. So yeah. So okay, it's almost end point. We'll first check that what is the volume here. So it is 25. No, it is 24.6. So let's see that we have to add few drops more, most probably. Let's see how it is doing. Okay, we got a color here. So value is exactly 25 now. So that means we are getting same value, which previously it was 12.5, now it is 25. So the volume is exactly 12.5 ml. So that means we are getting similar result. Same result basically, not similar. So we have to go for here the same result, not the similar result. So this is very important thing, and color should not be very dark. You can see that the color is just little bit not so deep color. It's a properly understandable color change, and this should be the end point. Now if you add more drops of potassium hydroxide, what can happen that you are already reached the equivalent point and you are somehow exceeding the equivalent point, and it is not possible to find out. That means there is a huge difference between your equivalent point and your end point. So that should not be there. the end point should be very close to equivalent point. So that is the most important part here. So first thing, we have standardized the solution. So the calculation for this, whatever required, that what is the strength of potassium hydroxide solution, that we will carry out. But the calculation we will do it later. So we have noted down the values here, that 2 times we have done the experiment, that is titration of oxalic acid with potassium hydroxide solution, and we found out that 12.5 ml potassium hydroxide solution is required to standardize N by 10 oxalic acid. Okay? So, okay, we need to clean all these stuffs here. So, next we'll come back to the real titration, that means determination of the acid value of oil. Okay, so now we'll carry out the experiment, that is the acid value determination, and for that we have already told that we have here oil, so that is mustard oil we have taken from normal market here. So we can see that what is the quality of this oil, so that will at least give you some idea that what is the quality of oil it is available in our market. Okay, so for that first we have to dissolve the oil in an alcohol. So why we are using alcohol? Because oil and water is not miscible. So if you want to titrate this oil, that means the acids present in this oil, and that is with the potassium hydroxide solution, so then it is not possible. It is as they, those things will make 2 different phases. So for that purpose, first we have to make it soluble in organic solvent, and that organic solvent again it should be miscible with water. So for that we have added here methanol. So what is the procedure? So we will not add the whole methanol, 10 ml of methanol at a time. Rather, we will add a part of it, let's say 5 ml, and then we will try to mix it just by stirring with a glass rod. Okay, so it's now winter here, so it's a little bit difficult to make it soluble, but what you can do if it is not soluble after a long time stirring, then you can heat it a little bit. So that is the another way. But anyway, you have to make it properly miscible. Otherwise, you cannot carry out the experiment. So now we'll try to do that. So you can see that it is not so miscible, though we are stirring vigorously. But anyway, if it is not miscible, we are going to heat it at very low temperature. It's low means it should not be like more than 65, because we are adding methanol. So it should not be very high, so that whole methanol is evaporated. So that's the reason. So let's see that how long it takes. So otherwise we will heat it. Okay, so after a long effort and studying and then with little bit heating, so we are able to make it miscible, oil and methanol solution. So we'll add here 4 drops of phenolphthalein again. So here you have to be very careful when you are carrying out this experiment, that when we are adding potassium hydroxide from the burette, so you have to be very careful, because this acid value, this will not be something like 10 ml or this thing. So this could be a very low value, and for that we have to do this addition very slowly, just drop by drop. So we already filled out again this burette with potassium hydroxide solution, and it has 0 value. So let's start that 1 by 1 drop addition of potassium hydroxide into this oil, so which is already containing some fatty acid. Okay, almost we're there. So we added only few drops of there. No, disappeared. Yes, yeah, that is the end point. So here you can see that this end point is a little bit peculiar, because already oil is there inside, and again we'll stir it for few seconds to see that color is disappeared or not. Okay, disappeared. Again we'll add 1 more drop. Yeah, so it's disappeared. Okay,
So it should be little bit deep color, we'll take it, otherwise it is difficult to understand. Okay, so now this is the color. This is the perfect color, mixture of phenolphthalein, oil, and then all this indicator with this oil. So this is giving like this type of color. So you can see that there is a particular difference in the color. Previously it was yellow, now with the reddish tinge or pinkish tinge here. So we'll check now what is the volume. So it is exactly 0.6 ml. So 0.6 ml potassium hydroxide is consumed by the fatty acid present in our oil. So that means that we have here equivalent amount of fatty acid. So that will calculate later. But here first thing we have to be very careful that, so you can see that this color is again disappearing. So you have to come to a point that where we'll add one drop more. Let's see what is happening. Yes, you can see that again color is coming back. So that is the end point. So 0.6 ml is potassium hydroxide solution. It is consumed by this fatty acid present in the oil. So that is the final data here. So we are not going to carry out this experiment second times. We'll do it only once, because you can see that here it is very difficult to find out exactly that what is going on inside this oil. But it will approximately give you idea about the quality of your oil. And this is a standard technique carried out most of the industries to find out the quality of oil. Okay.
So first we'll carry out the experiments in the lab, and then we'll write down all the value, we'll note down all the value, and then we'll calculate. So as we have seen in the lab, that first we carry out the standardization of potassium hydroxide solution. And you can remember here that the volume of KOH solution which is consumed to neutralize N/10 oxalic acid solution, that is 12.5 ml. So we have taken 10 ml, pipetted out 10 ml of oxalic acid solution, and which is neutralized by 12.5 ml of potassium hydroxide solution. Now if we try to calculate the strength of KOH solution, so it will come out ultimately 1 by 12.5 normal. So it's very pretty simple calculation, you can do it. So next part we are determining the acid value. So you can remember that we have titrated all this thing, and ultimately you can see that we got a value of 0.6 ml of potassium hydroxide, that is N by 12.5 molar concentration, and that is neutralizing the fatty acid present in the oil. So if we can do that all these things, so ultimately we will get that 2.68 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram of potassium hydroxide required to neutralize the total amount of oil. So here we have taken 3 gram of oil, that is vegetable oil, and that is neutralized by ultimately 2.68 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram of potassium hydroxide, and then 1 gram oil according to the definition is neutralized by 0.893 milligram of potassium hydroxide. So this unit is very important. Ultimately we have to convert it to milligram. So milligram of potassium hydroxide, that we already defined at the beginning. So this 0.893 milligram of KOH is important, and milligram, that unit, actually more important. So ultimately the acid value is coming out 0.893.